First, we talk about this report by Nomura. The government is confident of achieving 3.7% and 3.4% of the fiscal deficit to GDP in 2018 and 2019 respectively. I have checked with the preliminary financial accounts that were closed at the end of the year, and the government's fiscal position is well within the 3.7% of GDP deficit target for 2018. Where I said that 2018 will be 3.7%, 2019 is 3.4%, and 2020 will be 3%, and of course after that in 2021, when the 3-year rehabilitation phase, recovery phase is over, it should be below 2.8%. Nomura's global research report that the 2018 fiscal deficit would deteriorate to 3.9% of GDP is therefore simply untrue. As I said, I can vouch that for 2018, the fiscal deficit will be well within 3.7%. And furthermore, sales and services tax collections exceeded our initial projection by 34% at 5.4 billion ringgit compared to the projected figure of 4 billion ringgit last year. So you talk about SST collection, because we only had 2 months left to collect. We had estimated only 4 billion ringgit, but the SST collections exceeded expectations, and we received 5,365 million ringgit, nearly 5.4 billion, which is 34% higher than our projection. And that is quite a big increase. When anything near more than 5% is considered big. So if you imagine 34%, that is how many times much bigger than projected. In contrast to Nomura's Global Research House opinion, multiple structural reforms announced by the government are already happening. The major ones include the implementation of zero-based budgeting to increase the efficiency of government spending this year that will have immediate impact. The comprehensive application of open tenders across all ministries since last year to increase transparency and effectiveness of government spending immediately. The ongoing migration from cash to accrual basis of accounting, which will come into force in 2021. The reprioritization of infrastructure projects like MRT2, MRT3, LRT3, and other infra projects to increase the financial viability and reduce the financial burden on government immediately, which has resulted in savings of more than 27 billion ringgit. And also the establishment of the Tax Reform Committee and Public Finance Committee to diversify government revenue while proceeding with fiscal consolidation without reducing growth. Now, the government has been upfront that the fiscal reforms will take 3 years to complete. More measures will be announced for 2020, in addition to the measures announced during the 2019 budget. The government has conveyed the same message on the time required to complete the reforms to various parties, including the top credit rating agencies, Fitch Ratings, Moody's, and S&P, Standard & Poor's. Now, all 3 credit ratings agencies understand the amount of time required to carry out the reforms, and as a result, they have maintained the government's credit ratings at A3 or A-, especially when the current government has been more transparent about its fiscal position and financial obligations than the previous administration. Additionally, Nomura Global Research is worried that the fiscal deficit ratio may rise due to crude oil prices that is currently at $61 per barrel. The government would like to highlight that apart from the one-time 30 billion ringgit special dividend from Petronas needed to partially finance the payments of unpaid GST and income tax refunds, the estimated government's dependence on petroleum income this year is only 19.5%, and this 19.5% does not include, is without GST revenue. So if it's GST revenue, then of course it will be much lower. In contrast, in 2009, the petroleum revenue made up 41.3% of government revenue, in contrast to the present 20%. This suggests that while petroleum is an important source of revenue, it is becoming less and less important to public finance. Analysts should take the low energy prices within this context, as well as the fact